we're gonna go ahead with the quiz. The quiz about various different things, and the quiz that's actually a tiny little bit difficult, especially because I've had a look at the next question, and next question is, I don't know the answer. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I hope at least it's gonna be good. I'll see you after the intro. And with that being said, I'm super duper looking forward to this fucking episode because it's gonna be amazing, because I really like these quizzes, these quizzes, they pretty are cool. Well done. And I also hope that you like them because I find them hilarious, because they're so super duper funny. No, but especially because this one's a little bit more challenging. It's not like just some fucking shit there. So, the next question. Which of these authors wrote The Bad Batch of Courage? I don't know it. Ernest Hemingway. I would actually like to go for Ernest Hemingway just because I like the name, so I'm also gonna go for it. But it is not Ernest Hemingway. It's Stephen Crane, apparently. Crane was one of America's first practitioners of the style called naturalism. Though Crane had no military experience, he wrote a grippingly detailed story about the Civil War, which is, I think, just, based on research, I guess. Then, if you just don't have any experience in anything that has something to do with the piece that you're making, then I really believe that a lot of research and talking to people that actually were in wars is quite indeed a pretty good thing and pretty useful thing probably as well, which I think kind of also makes sense, I guess. But yeah, anyway. Let's see. The next question, the next question. Whom did Robert E. Lee surrender to at Appomattox? I don't know this shit. What's Appomattox? I actually would like to look it up, but do I spoiler myself then? The Battle of Appomattox. Courthouse fought in Appomattox County, Virginia. Courthouse. I'd actually like to go for Abraham Lincoln because it's the only person I know. So I'm gonna go for him. And he is not. There's actually Ulysses. Is it Ulysses? Ulysses S. Grant. There's an old joke that says that Lee never meant to surrender. He was passing the Appomattox courthouse and went in to use the bathroom. Inside, he saw an unkempt, bearded man, assumed he was the janitor, and gave him his sword to hold. This joke works better if you know that Ulysses Grant was pretty far from a sharp dresser. So is it now a joke or is it just based on some true shit? This would actually be something that's interesting. Maybe I'm gonna look it up, which I'm probably not gonna do because I'm often saying that and I don't often do that then. The femoral artery is named for a bone in what part of the body? Fuck you, man. Lower arm, upper leg, lower leg, heart. I mean, when it just comes up to bones, I don't really think that it is about the heart then. But I would actually go for the upper leg. The lower arm is just, I would go for the upper leg. Motherfucker. And I'm right, by the way, For the podcast listeners, that can't really see what I'm clicking there, what I'm clickety-clicking there. The femoral artery is named for the femur, which is commonly called the thigh bone. It's good that the femoral artery is deep inside the leg and well protected. When breached, this large bore artery can bleed out quite rapidly. Nice. Which of these golden age actresses was also an inventor? What I have to think about right now is when can you be called an inventor? Like, is it when you just did one thing? Are you then just immediately an inventor, like super duper inventor? You did this. You just, came up with the idea of the atomic bomb, super duper. Well done, motherfucker. Did a lot of good stuff. Even though I guess the inventor of the atomic bomb also did a lot of good stuff, I assume, as far as I can remember, because I think that I've actually also been talking about that. Even, I think it's been an article by the How Stuff Works site, which I'm on at this point in time as well. By the way, the link to this quiz is going to be down in the description as well, and also in the show notes if you're on a podcast. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out, so you don't have to, search for it on your own and stuff. But yeah, so which of these golden age actresses was also an inventor? Theda Bara, Hedy Lamarr, Gloria Swanson, Jeannie Turney. I would like to go for Gloria, and it's not been right. Hedy Lamarr, or Lamar, however. Fun fact, what the fuck? I always want to say Henry, but it's not Henry, it's Hedy. Hedy. Lamar was the inspiration for a villain on Agent Carter. The character, Whitney Frost, was a Hollywood engineer whose image belied her formidable brain and scientific skills. Yes, I can read. Which of these not? What? Which of these is not a taxonomic classification? Fuck you. That's probably no one. Archaeology, myrmecology, none of these are taxonomic classifications. They're all taxonomic. This is a little itchy theology. I would go for all of them. Fuck. None of them are taxonomic, classifications. These are all fields of study. Though each of them involves animals, none are classifications. Those would evolve an animal's kingdom or phylum, or, well, you get the point. No, I don't get the point, but I also don't care. Viking 1 and 2 were spacecraft which NASA sent to Jupiter, Mars, the Moon, or Orion. The funny thing is Orion, like, does this have something to do with Oreos? You know, did they really think about that? You know, because I'm actually not quite sure if this is a real thing, like, to be really honest now. I don't know. Really don't fucking know. But it would kind of be an interesting thing because, I mean, like, we're having Mars, we're having Milky Way, we're having Snickers, and then all of a sudden, then we're also having Orion as a planet and therefore also Oreo as a brand. Will kind of be an interesting and cool thing to have. But I don't think so. I don't know if we send something to Jupiter, since like a pretty, I would say Mars. Motherfuckers, yeah. Because I mean, like I gotta have to say, Mars is the only one that somehow makes sense, since, you know, we have already just having some things on the moon. So I don't really think that they did that, you know. So some new things, you know. But Jupiter is way too far away, and I don't even know if Orion is a planet. So what, you know? So what? What's the point? Great answer. At the present time, the Inside lander is on Mars, but the Viking crafts of the 1970s paved the way. Which is, by the way, an insane thing if we think about that we've already been accomplishing that in 1970 or in the 1970s. Who wrote the 1976 Best Picture winner Rocky? George Lucas, Willem Goldman, Sylvester Stallone. Probably not George Lucas and also not Sylvester Stallone, I guess. Then we're having Peter Bogdanovich and William Goldman. I would like to go for Goldman. Fuck, it's actually been Sylvester Stallone. Yup, Stallone was a struggling actor who decided he would write the ideal role for himself. Which, by the way, is actually a pretty good idea, to be honest. Then he had to fight to ensure the part wasn't given away to a big name actor. Just imagine it. You know, you're just making something for your own, for yourself, and it's actually pretty good in the end, but they then are like, well, you know, we're gonna give it to somebody else, you know, because you're shit, and we're gonna give it to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe because, I don't know if he's been a bigger name back then. Probably actually no. I think they both have been just kind of been established in the same time quite, I guess. Even though I don't know. Whom did Bill Clinton run against in the 1996 presidential election? Bob Dole, Elizabeth Dole, John McCain, or George W. Bush? I don't think it is Bush, even though I actually don't know. I think it is actually Bob Dole. Yeah, it is actually Bob Dole. I don't know why I know that, or why I assumed that. You know, because I didn't know that, but I assumed that. You know, I assumed that it is Bob Dole. Was the Republican senator from Kansas. An older candidate, he was hindered by suggestions that he was too old to effectively lead America compared to the younger Clinton. Does that make sense? I mean, is there really reasons that you're saying that? Or that this is actually like a factor, your age? I mean, of course, and I think you also probably have to have a certain age to become the president, I guess. Because at least it's the case in Austria as far as I know. I think you have to be 35 or something to be the president. Is it called president then? I'm actually not quite sure. I think, yeah, kind of. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that. You know, this is something that I decide right now. What religion gave us the concept of Nirvana? Buddhism, Jainism, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism. Nirvana is the idea of ultimate non-attachment, therefore peace, that a good Buddhist will achieve after death. If you haven't, and therefore also not getting reborn. If you haven't heard about the complicated journey that is the Buddhist afterlife, Google it. It's remarkably complex and mythic, yes. We also did that in religion. So in religion class, and yes, we have that if you are in a country where you're not having that, which is it likely? I don't know. I think, yeah, I would say so. I actually don't know the data. I don't know anything, but I assume. I really assume, but the thing is, it's actually quite of an interesting thing. And it is indeed also the case that a lot of people tend to gravitate towards Buddhism at this point in time. So also in, I think, Hollywood or something, might be like a hotspot or something. At least just in the Western world. Because I believe, and I guess, and if I remember it correctly, because it's not like such a woo-woo thing, and there's actually a lot of things that also make sense, even though, of course, there's definitely some mythic things and all these things, which is, I think, always going to be the case with religions. You know, there's always going to be some stories, there's always going to be some this and that and whatnot. And but yeah, what Action Star had a bid role. Is it a bid role or big? I think it's big. Big role as an organ player at a wedding Capel in Kill Bill Volume 2. Dwayne Johnson, Samuel L. Jackson, Jet Li, Kurt Russell. I would actually like to go for Samuel L. Jackson. I'm gonna go for him. And it is actually right. The funny thing is, I'm actually gonna read the answer. Correct answer. Director Quentin Tarantino. He did Kill Bill. I didn't know that. And Jackson, who we know is more than just an action star, eventually have a great working relationship. Jackson has appeared in several Tarantino films. I think also after this one, of course, if we think about, what is it called? Is it either it is just Glorious Bastards or something like that, or it's The Hateful Eight, or it's actually both, you know? I do think one of these two movies were directed by Quentin Tarantino, and there was also Samuel L. Jackson in this movie, and I believe that Quentin Tarantino is actually a really good director. Yes, that's quite it. Jackson has appeared in several Tarantino films, but the role in Kill Bill was really just a camo, or a cameo. Is it cameo? Camo. A piece of jewelry, typically oval in shape. I think it's more or less cameo. Yeah. But I think, you know, my answer, why I've taken this one. I believe that Samuel L. Jackson, besides the fact that I don't really know Jet Li and Kurt Russell, not really, but I knew Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and I like imagining, I think it's been about a piano, isn't it? An organ. Yeah, I see. I couldn't imagine The Rock playing an organ. But Samuel L. Jackson, of course. I don't know why. I really don't know. Which of these medical fields deals with blood? Endocrinology, oncology, genetics, tracts, just not this one. Hematology. I think also not this one. So it's either endocrinology or oncology. I think endo. Fuck. Hematology. Hematologists study and treat blood cancers like leukemia and clotting disorders. The latter includes hemophilia and von Willebrand disease. Or von Willebrand could also be the case. I don't know how it is pronounced. Which of these is the last book of the Christian Bible? Well, I actually might know that in German, but of course not in English. Obadiah, Revelation, Deuteronomy, Acts of the Apostles. I actually don't know. I really don't know. I would actually go for the Apostles. I don't know why, and it is wrong. Even though I think if I would really know like the sequence of the books, then I could have probably also said that no, it's not this one, but it's the Revelation. The full name is the Revelation to Saw John. Do you say John or the Apostle John? Highly allegorical. It purports to tell the story of the coming end of the world. Which I guess you can somehow also assume if we just think about the word revelation, you know, it's just revolution, revolutionizing things, revolutionizing the world, letting the world die, letting it come to an end. I have to say it makes sense. I'm sorry. Ropavija is a stewed beef and tomato dish that is the pride of which national cuisine? Argentina, Cuba, San Marino, or Spain? I would actually go for Cuba. Motherfuckers. I'm so motherfucking good. We know that stewed beef and tomato doesn't sound like an Epicurean delight. But trust us, you've gotta try it to really appreciate it. I believe that it is actually pretty good. Stewed beef and tomato. I think it's actually a pretty good combination. I mean, if we think about fucking just spaghetti bolognese, that's the exact fucking shit. Besides, it's grounded beef, besides it's a tomato sauce, and besides there's noodles, and it's not really a stew, but it is somehow the same. Maybe also not. I, by the way, hope, because I'm always doing this one, because I've just eaten nuts before, and I kind of am conscious about the fact that there's often some fucking shit in between my teeth, then I hope it's not the case. And if it is the case, I'm sorry. Kurt Vonnegut's most famous novel is called Slaughterhouse. Beach, 5, Now, Redux. Slaughterhouse 5, Slaughterhouse Now, Slaughterhouse Redux, Slaughterhouse Beach. I would actually like to go for the beach. And it is wrong, it's 5. Slaughterhouse 5 is a story about war, with a strong anti-war message. A central event in it is the firebombing of Dresden in World War II. And Dresden, by the way, is a city in Germany. Which world religion has 613 commandments? Judaism, Hinduism, Shaivism, Buddhism. Hinduism. Judaism, actually. These are also called the 613 mitzvot, with the letter word meaning good or righteous deeds. They are divided in several ways, including positive and negative, commandment for man and for woman, and so on and so on and so on. Interesting. What was Lot's wife turned into? Who is Lot? In the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Ashes, marble, butter, or salt? I would like to go for marble, because ashes is way too easy. I know, because it's like, yeah, it's ashes, this person died. Butter is like a little bit, I don't know. Because what would be the meaning behind fucking butter? I mean, marble is something precious. Marble is something that's pretty cool. Salt could actually also be the case, because if she was a salty bitch, or she, actually, yeah. If she was a salty bitch, sorry, then maybe it's also salt. But I would like to go for marble. It's actually salt, motherfucker. I hate you. No, I don't. Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt in Genesis story about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Her sin, turning back to look behind her, which God had forbidden. I actually know the story, but I don't know the context of the story. And that it is a story, and that it is there, but I don't fucking know what it's all about. But yeah, San Quentin, you probably don't pronounce it like this, but yes. San Quentin, California is known to the world for what reason? Gold was discovered there, which could be the case. Its prison hosts executions in California. It was the site of California's first mission. It was the location of the first movie shoot. I go for gold. Fuck. Its prison hosts executions in California. San Quentin is a very small town north of San Francisco. It really only serves as a bedroom community for prison staff, some of whom worked on the accused death row. Its prison hosts executions. I see. The more I know. In which game would you castle Kingside or castle Queenside? Chess. Motherfuckers. Because I guess... I don't know if just Twister is the right answer. I mean, like, could be some position. Castle Kingside would sound actually pretty fucking badass. But poker not really, I guess. Because even though, like, there's a king and stuff, but no, it doesn't sound pokerish. Checkers, maybe. But I mean, chess, like, there is a king and there is a queen, and I think also guess that I knew that. Kind of sounded just familiar and stuff. But yeah, I could also be wrong. I could also feel like, well, I know that, but indeed, and in reality, I don't know that. Atropos, Lachesis, and Clotho are the three Furies of Greek mythology: Fates, Graces, Meandans. Furies. Fuck, Fates. You might have been helped here if you're... If you've read Pyrrhus Athene's Incarnations of Immortality series, in which the Fates appear prominently. For those of who haven't read it, here's the gen. Clotho, the youngest of the Fates, spins the thread of a life. Lachesis, middle-aged, measures it out, and Atropos cuts it, creating death. I see. What? I've actually been able to finish the quiz. Who was judged at the Nuremberg? This is probably written incorrectly. Even though, like, in English, it might have a specific name or do they say extra name? No, not really. But it's the Nürnberger Prozesse, I think it's called in German, as far as I remember. Accused witches? No, it's been the Nazis. They were trialed there and charged, if you say that like this. I don't actually know. So German war criminals. Soviet enemies of the people, robber barons, known as the German war criminals. At the Nuremberg trials, former Nazis were put on trial for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Notably absent was Adolf Hitler, Joseph... Yeah, I mean, of course, like, Adolf Hitler killed himself. At least this is what we seem to know. Joseph Goebbels, I think, also as well as Heinrich Himmler, and all of whom had committed suicide as combat came to an end. Yes, then we also had... I just see my score there, because there actually is one. Almost an expert, but not quite. You got 18 correct out of 35 and scored better than 11% of quiz takers. The average score is 66% and I got 51%. I mean, if we were in school, then I would have been able to just pass that test, since at least as it is in Austria, with 50% you passed it. If you're having 49, you're fucked. If you have 49.9, you're also fucked. But if you have 50, I think, even though I think if you just have to have 51 or something, or 50.1 or something. But the average is 66. But I wonder. I mean, like the Greek thing, I should kind of know that. Then, I actually had 1, 2, 3. Oh, a lot of wrong answers there. A lot of actually wrong answers there. I do, by the way, wonder which of these, or how much percent one of them is. How many questions are there? How many questions are there? 35. So one question is 3.5%, isn't it? It gotta have to be the case, I guess. No, not really. 35 is 100. What is 1 then? Oh, no, it's for sure. 35, 1, 2. No, 1, 2. Yeah, it's 0.35% is 1. Which means... does that make sense? If I 0.35 times 18 is 6.3. So not really. Well, anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I think this episode came to an end. I just really like this episode. Like, it's really been a lot of fun going through this. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of these quizzes, at least not some quizzes that are not just only bullshit. Because there is some shit that I can learn. And you as well, which is pretty cool then. Like, it's not only nonsensical and just going through something and just doing something. By the way, now it smells good. Because it's simply fresh flowers. I wonder if there's also just one that's, I mean, like, I don't know, dirty flowers and just moldy and shitty ass stinky flowers. As well as fresh ocean, like, yeah. I mean, of course, there is a not fresh ocean. Well, anyway, I do wish you the best health, happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being remembered as a nice person, hopefully. But yeah, 3 other questions that I'm having for you are, why are you here? Then we're having, what are you trying to change? And the last one is, what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose. You know, what could you change? What could you make? What could you do? And whatnot. And maybe even also a business idea, which is pretty neat then. Because especially when it is about some things that really bother you, you can do something about it. And it's probably not only something that's bothering you, but also just a ton of other people. I guess. At least. I assume. But yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time. I unfortunately can't just do anything right now because it's loading and stuff. Unfortunate thing. But by the way, the question of today. What's the question of today? The question of today gotta have to be something good. I know. You know what I mean. It's gotta have to be something good. You know. What could it be? I should maybe not just... did you... Maybe this is actually not that bad. Did you find something in here that leads you to thinking about a certain thing in a certain way, and therefore being curious why something is what it is? What I want to say is just anything that I've been going through kind of sparked an idea, sparked some interest, sparked whatever. Ask yourself this, because I think I believe even though we go through something like this and we just do it and whatnot, maybe we don't really realize that we have just found something pretty interesting or something that we could actually just research more and stuff. So maybe there is something. So please look that up. Uppity up. You know, as we all say in Austria, uppity up. No, we don't say that. Really not. But myths say that we do. But the myths are fucking shit. There are no myths. What's going on today? You know? What is going on today? Maybe this is just my final form, like just who I really am. Which, by the way, is a pretty interesting thing. Like, also being the person, the video that you really are, is not, I don't want to say common, but it's not, you can't expect this to happen right away, I think. I think we just kind of have to be comfortable, first of all, just to be on video, and then to be also on tape with our voice and stuff. But yeah, Baya. Kinda low-key wanna end the episode now, but can I? I can actually. Outro. I can. So thank you very much. Like, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm hopefully gonna see you the next time. So bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.